Hello, welcome back to another edition of Lone Star Football Podcast. I'm your host, Cody Johnson, and today I'm going to be giving my first NFL 2021 mock draft for the Houston Texans. Before we get into the video, I'm going to give you all a couple things. First off, I am doing rounds 3 through 5 in this video because I haven't done enough homework on the round 6 and 7 guys, potentially, that we might draft. Most of those guys won't even make rosters, let alone be contributors to the team. They're most likely special teams guys. So I'm just going to do rounds 3 through 5 here and give you all some guys I like in those rounds. Secondly, I want to do something for a potential Deshaun Watson trade, a mock draft, or fantasy mock draft, in other words. So what I want to do is I want y'all watching this to go down to the comment section below and give me potential Deshaun Watson trades, scenarios that y'all might have. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of the comments, one of the trades I like, and I'm going to do a fantasy mock draft with those picks we got for Deshaun and do a mock draft based off of those for the Houston Texans. So y'all go down in the comment section, give me potential trade scenarios for Deshaun. I personally don't think a trade happens, but I think that would be something fun to do. And lastly, the picks we have right now, I don't think are the picks we end up with. I think we trade guys like JJ, maybe McKinney, get a couple more picks, but I wanted to get this one out now with the current picks we have just to see what the draft board looks like. Lastly, before we get into the mock draft, this was a mock draft based off the Draft Network's mock draft simulator. I will plug their website down in the description below if y'all want to go to their site and do your own mock draft. Let's get into the mock draft now. So with the first pick, the third round, pick 67 for the Houston Texans, I drafted Landon Dickerson, offensive lineman, offensive center out of Alabama. Now this guy is what you would call versatility. Now, I know us Texans fans are kind of worn out on that word versatility, but with a good coaching staff, I think versatility is very important, and you can get some actual players out of it, unlike with the Bill O'Brien area. Now, Landon Dickerson has played all 5 positions, started all 5 positions on the offensive line. He played center last year. He's played guard. This is a guy who is likely going in the second round. I'm surprised he fell to me, but he fell to me, so I took him in this mock. He's a guy that if you want to replace Nick Martin or if you want to replace Zach Fulton, he can fill either of those spots and start day one. He's very strong, versatile, like I said, can play in a zone or a power scheme, and can play either position, which is great for us because we have those 2 positions to fill need. Now, his biggest knock is durability. He's only finished 1 season, and that was his freshman year, I believe. So this guy is a lock if we can snag him in the third to start day 1 for us. We just got to hope he can stay healthy. That's kind of the long and the short of it. If he falls to us, it's a steal. Simplest way to put it, guy's probably a second rounder. Now, with our second pick, round 4, pick 107, I drafted Andre Cisco, safety out of Syracuse. If y'all followed me last year, y'all know my draft crush was Grant Delpit, safety out of LSU. A lot of the qualities Delpit has, Cisco has as well. Very good in single high coverage, probably what he's best at. But he can play deep splits, which is what he will be playing in Lovey's Tampa 2 defense. Along with Reed, him and Reed would be a very good combo in that system. The biggest thing why I like him is he's a deep coverage safety that is a playmaker. He led the college football in interceptions 1 year, but the reason he's falling to this round, and even in this mock draft, is because he has the playmaking ability is great, but it's almost to a fault because he's always looking for the big play and he doesn't play disciplined, which it gets him into coverage busts way too often. He also has some tackling deficiencies and some technique work to work on, but he has all the tools to be a starting safety in the NFL, especially a true free safety playing deep splits or single high coverage. He would be a great fit next to Reed, like I said. If we can snag him at this round, it's an absolute steal. Now, with our second pick in the 4th round, pick 120, I went defensive end Patrick Jones out of Pittsburgh. He is a defensive end that I've seen some comparisons. I saw Brett Coleman put it out the other day that he compared him to Clowney. He has that same body frame, 6'5", 250 pounds. The thing with him is he is solely a 4-3 defensive end. He is not very versatile. He cannot play 3-4 outside linebacker. He cannot really play 3-4 defensive end. So that kind of drops him down. Now, I have seen him kind of rising up draft boards lately. He is very athletic. He, like I said, with the Clowney comparisons, he is kind of like Clowney in athleticism. Not quite to that extent, but he is very athletic, and he actually has a motor to where he's continuously playing. That was the knock on Clowney, is he didn't always give his 100%. Patrick Jones does do that. Now, along with the versatility issues, his big issue is he has technique issues, which is why he's in the 4th round in this mock, and probably will end up being a 3rd rounder. But in the 4th round in this mock, he needs to work on his hand placement. But this is a guy who, again, is a system fit for Lovie Smith. 4-3 Tampa 2 would be. He might be a starter day 1, even in round 4, because he's a prototypical 4-3 defensive end. Would be a great pick. At 120, I don't think he makes it this far, but he did in this mock, so I had to pick him. Now, with the final pick that I'm doing in this mock draft, round 5, pick 146, I went Chuba Hubbard, running back out of Oklahoma State. Most of y'all are going to know Chuba Hubbard. He was a great running back 2 years ago at Oklahoma State. I'm not sure where he ranked in terms of rushing yards that year, but he was fantastic. He's a great zone scheme runner, one cut back, good vision, can break open field, and he used to run track, so he's fast, but he didn't have the breakaway speed like some other guys have. Now, Chuba Hubbard, why he's kind of falling into this round is because of his lack of pass catching ability and lack of pass blocking. Now, that's not really a big deal for us if we were to pick him up in this round, because if we kept a guy like Duke Johnson, that would be his role anyways. So it wouldn't be needed, but he would be a great fit for a zone scheme, which is what Kelly ran last year. I'm not sure how much that's going to change this year, but would be a great fit. Would probably, I don't know what we do with David Johnson, but he'd probably start day 1. And the reason, it would be a steal for us in the 5th round because running backs are starting to fall out of the 1st and later in the rounds because the position is not that valuable. If we could get a running back of his caliber in the 5th round, it's an absolute steal. So that's going to be my mock draft. Again, go down in the comment section, give me potential Deshaun Watson trade scenarios, and I will do that probably next week, a full fantasy mock draft with round 1 picks. So, also hit that like and subscribe button if y'all enjoying the content, and then y'all have a good day.